Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. As I said in my earlier video, 3.1 is on first wave PTU, but I wanted to talk about a few things in this current PTU patch. The rest is going to be added within the next few days, so the rest of the content that 3.1 is supposed to have. Lots of people have also been saying that they're going to subscribe to RSI to get the first wave PTU now. I would put a counterpoint there, however. I do expect more waves this week and a live build in a couple of weeks, so I'd only sub and pay that extra $10 or $20 or whatever you want to do if you really like some of the other RSI sub bonuses personally. So that's just my 2 cents in that, or my lack of $10 in that. Save the money for ships or beer if you don't want any of the other subscriber bonuses, but totally up to you. The current performance on 3.1.0 PTU is pretty good frame rate wise. However, the current patch does have lots and lots of RAM hungry issues on video card, especially at the moment. So my video card is pretty much maxed out RAM wise almost all of the time. And again, although having some extremely good frame rates, it hitches in the persistent universe every 10 seconds or so, which is actually quite annoying. Actually, in some servers, it doesn't happen so often. And we'll talk about that in a second, because it could potentially be interdiction and some of the other stress testing, because this patch is basically just a stress test patch. So in the hangar, while I'm running at 4K and everything on very high, I am getting 70 plus frames a second, which is reasonable. It goes up to around 90 and can stay at around 90 quite often. The PU, however, I'm getting anywhere between 25 in very high built areas surrounded by pirates to 60. So it is a lot better than 3.0 was, even in its PTU stage. Another cool thing is you can actually grab a Star Citizen 3.1.0 ship's weapon pack if you're on the PTU Voyager Direct store. I'll chuck a link in the description down below for those of you that have access to the PTU at the moment. Basically, you can go on that, you can buy a 0 UEC pack of weapons that gives you 6 of each of the new weapons to try, which is great because, you know, testing. That's what we're supposed to be doing in the PTU. The Cyclone is extremely cool as a vehicle. In fact, it is probably my favorite thing in 3.1 at the moment. It is fantastically fun, especially Moonside. And for those of you that are interested, it does fit in a Cutlass, sort of. I can get in and out relatively easily. The Freelancer, however, it is a lot harder to get in. And then even if you do get it in, you can't really get out of it and maneuver around it. It's I don't think it's really one for the Freelancer, even though it sort of looks like it can fit. It does sort of fit in the Cutlass, but again, these are sort of like bodge jobs. They're not 100% intentional. I do wish you could remove the seats of the Cutlass actually, so that you could kind of get it in properly. Really, the Nox Q is just the skin, and the last of the ships that are currently in this build of the PTU, because the rest of the ships are coming later, but it's still in 3.1, is the Razor. And the Razor looks really awesome, but I was not enjoying it flight-wise. It's supposed to be a racer, so not really for fighting, but I was using it in Arena Commander fighting Vandal Swarm. It kind of is a bit slidey at the moment, and I gave it Omni Skies, which are obviously laser cannons, and it's probably needed a laser repeater if I wanted to shoot things with it, but yeah, I was not enjoying my experience with it in its actual flight. The patch still needs a lot of work, and there is a lot missing from it currently, as I said. However, everything that's supposed to be in 3.1 from the roadmap looks to still be going in. There is a lot of crashing, there is a lot of bugs. Interdiction hasn't been an issue for me in this patch, as in I haven't been repeatedly interdicted. However, there are lots of enemy ships just everywhere that haven't been cleaned up. And in fact, reading about it, interdiction does seem to be an issue for a lot of people, with it seemingly being tested on servers erratically. So you might get a server where it doesn't really happen much, or when a server just comes on, it's not happening much, but later on it will happen loads, and then there's loads of uncleaned pirates. And when I say uncleaned pirates, what I mean is just loads of ships everywhere that shouldn't be there, really. And this is probably likely why I'm having hitching issues, and indeed why there's lots of pirates everywhere. Ship combat still needs work too. ESP is sort of broken, but in a different way. It tries to auto-predict where your cursor should be moving rapidly now, although the actual smoothing movement is significantly better than it was for me. I think it just needs a bit of tweaking, and then it might be there. We'll have to wait and see. Might be a major problem, might be a minor one. HUD elements and pip kind of elements randomly disappear from your HUD, which is really annoying, but again, that's probably very minor, that then get fixed pretty soon. It is early PTU. This sort of stuff happens a lot. The IFCS, again, is still being worked on. It'd be great. Once the ESP and IFCS are really just there, then combat's going to be a lot better. Although they have made a lot of improvements, admittedly, there's still a lot to go, early PTU. Ship explosions and debris look really great now. In fact, it pretty much wowed me when I first blew up a cutlass in the patch. When I was leaving Port Olisar, there was cutlasses everywhere, and I was like, oh, I'll blow one of these up. And it wanted to fight me. It was cool, it exploded. It was big bits of the ship going everywhere. There was smoke. It was really cool looking. And it looked not glitchy. It looked like it was supposed to break up that way and spin around in that way. It was pretty cool. It is getting there though, the patch. However, the live build is supposed to come around in about 10 days. So it's going to have to be all steam ahead from CIG and Foundry 42. The patch does have some great improvements, but only a limited amount of content at the moment, and there might be lots of other bugs with that other content. And we will be seeing lots more patches incoming, potentially 1 or 2 each day, and there will be many bugs and crashes to contend with, and lots of work needing to be done on the issue council, and different focuses from patch to patch. I have little doubt that they will get 3.1 out at the end of March for a live build, or potentially the first week of April, based on where the weekend falls. However, I'm not going to be annoyed at them for a single day out of March or something. However, we really want a nice stable live build that allows core combat and movement in game to be very playable, and not loads and loads of hotfix patches and mini patches needed to have a playable experience. We will have to wait and see. I shall keep bringing you the latest info on patch notes and the state of the game, as well as the news in general. Please check out my 3.1.0 PTU initial patch notes video if you haven't already. Links below. It's worth checking out your emails once a day as well to see if you've been given access to the next wave of 3.1 PTU. If you're like, really, I must play it. Although, as I said, it is buggy. It's a bit of a chore, although there is certainly some cool bits. Oh yeah, I mean, another amazing thing is just the way some of the moons look now. Like, they're superb. Every patch, every major patch, they really improve some of their tech. Or they tweak it so it looks great. And Yella especially looks absolutely fantastic with its biomes and its glow and the lighting, just everything. So those of you that have access, please tell me what you think in the comments below. Every month we have a ship giveaway for March. It's for the Outpost Building Pioneer, donated by our featured org Forgotten Heralds, a PMC with a history grounded in UBE military service. Their doctrine focuses on operational agility through custom in-game missions now, and in-game trainings, and a friendly, active community. They are going to be very active for 3.1, so check out their org page and Discord below. To be in for a chance of winning that Pioneer, however, make sure you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, and then comment on any of my videos made during the month. Each video will give you another chance to win. We also have, in the org spotlight for Forgotten Heralds, a video that I did a week or so ago, a chance to win a Terrapin, so check that video out for a chance to win at Terrapin as well. Do you have any questions about Squadron 42 or Star Citizen's development or gameplay mechanics in general, or suggestions for videos or things you want to see in 3.1? Chuck them in the comments below as well. A special thank you to my patrons who allow me to create the amount of content I do. If you're interested in becoming one of those lovely fellows or chapettes, then please check out the links to Patreon below, as well as everything else we've talked about. Please don't forget to like and subscribe as well, as it really does help me, and I will see you in the verse.